Say hello everybody. So we just thought we'd also run through with you signs and symptoms that made us suspicious that Pom Pom wasn't well. Rabbits, as we've said before, are notorious for hiding their illnesses. It's a strange trait that is common to rabbits, and all rabbits will do it, and they will basically do it so that in the wild they don't appear to be weak to other possible more dominant rabbits or to predators. So they will try and pretend they're fine and they'll hide away so nobody knows they're ill. So even our domestic buns still have that inherently in them, that trait, and they'll try and do that. So it's very, very difficult, unlike with some other animals, to know if rabbits are poorly or not. So things really to look out for that we thought with Pom Pom that he's sick every time is the first thing is not behaving as his usual self. Now, as you know, Pom Pom is a house bunny. So he's at home all the time. We get to see him all the time, most of the day and through the night. So we know really what behaviour is normal for him and what is a little bit off or a little bit different for him. So he had his birthday party on Sunday. We had some of his gifts early and celebrated his birthday again on Monday. So Sunday evening, he seemed to be shaking a fair bit more than usual. His nose was going a little bit faster than usual, which is usually a sign that they're either a little bit anxious, distressed, or possibly ill. And sometimes the shaking on the abdomen here could be struggling to breathe as well. So we noticed that and we thought we'd just keep an eye on it for a little bit and see if it calms down. It could have just been the heat. We tried cooling him down. And we started his birthday party and he was into everything, looking around, getting all excited, and then he would go behind the sofa, hide and just lie down. And again, Pom Pom, when he's excited, he really, really gets into everything. And it was just very unusual. I had to keep pausing the video for these lie downs behind the sofa. So that really wasn't him, and we thought he was getting very lethargic. And possibly a little bit too lethargic for normal. Given he'd already had his afternoon nap, he shouldn't really have been that tired. In the evening is usually his lively time, and that was the time he was showing to be very, very tired indeed. So lethargy, tiredness, just not being as active as they usually are, is all signs possibly that they're ill and coming down with something. So we then contacted the vets, went to the emergency out of hours vets. He had, his temperature was a little bit on the high side. It was a very hot day, so it could have been down to that. And they gave him an injection of pain relief. And, oh, that's so cute. Injection of pain relief. And just sort of said, go home, see how he gets on. If obviously he deteriorates, come straight back and they'll admit him. But after an hour or so, his nose twitching calmed down and he seemed to be a bit better. Then by Monday, he still wasn't himself. He was eating a lot less. One of the things to look out for as well is obviously how much poop and pee they're doing every day. So I have now changed the pelleted bedding to puppy pee pads in a very large underbed storage tray from IKEA, which isn't too high, so it's easy for him to hop in and out of. And that makes it really, really easy for me to see not only how much poop he's done during the day, but his pees as well. So obviously they stay in there so you can see if he's peed during the day and monitor how much drink he's had and how much poop he's done. So I'm obviously keeping an eye on that. And by Monday, there was a lot less poop in the tray than we would have liked to by the middle of the day. So we went back to the vets and a little bit of confusion. He said he thought it might need dental work. Turns out his teeth are fine. So it's tricky with vets that aren't rabbit specialists or exotic specialists to see if they can sort of find out what the matter is. So we went to see a rabbit specialist on Wednesday, and she gave him a good thorough looking over, but they're away for a couple of weeks, which was a bit complicated then to arrange a follow-up. So his gut movements were a little bit quieter, she said, than she would have liked them to be. And as I've said before in previous videos, he's been prone to gut problems since he was a baby. He's got very, very sensitive tummy, extremely, perhaps to be more sensitive than some rabbits. So we have to just keep an eye on that. And yeah, so he was put on the imiprid and he was already on the loxicam from Monday anyway, which is the painkiller, and the imiprid is the gut stimulant. And then he was sneezing for a couple of days, still very lethargic. And then by Thursday, he was coughing in the evening as well. Never heard a rabbit cough, very unusual, very distinct noise, quite loud compared to their little sneezers. So you couldn't really miss that. So back to the doctors on Thursday, temperature was okay, but she said he'd had a very sticky nose as well. So it was all possibly signs that he's got a cold. Respiratory infections, if left unchecked, can get quite serious because they can go to the chest. So they're treating him with antibiotics. Batril is on antibiotic for a week. And with a combination of those, he seems to be doing better. So more energy. Yeah, so basically the things I look out for is just starts off really with anything that's different to usual, be that different poops, smaller, harder poops, less poops. Are there any peas in there that day? If he's not peed, that's a problem. He could be dehydrated, or this one does drink a lot, which is good. And lethargy, tiredness, not being as usual, active, energetic self that's into everything and anything. You've seen Pom Pom, he likes to get into everything and anything, and just not being like that for a while is an indication possibly there's something wrong. Hiding away, as I said, rabbits hide to show their illnesses. He, when he's ill, will go and hide. Not just napping in his castle, but if I come to see him, unlike now, he's very much letting me stroke him and letting me play with him. If he's poorly and I go to see him and he's in his castle, he will dive and hide back into a corner and not let me go anywhere near him. The other sign I've seen with Pom Pom when he's been very ill on occasion is being aggressive towards myself or Stephen, which is so unlike Pom Pom. As you know, he is the gentlest, tenderest, most loving, affectionate little bunny that ever was on earth. He is so kind and gentle and tender. You know, anything I do, if I sort of turn around one day and he's behind me and I push him a little bit with my foot without meaning to, I'm like, oh my goodness, Pom Pom, are you okay? And I'll bend down and I'll try and tell him I'm sorry. Rabbits tell each other they're sorry by putting their foreheads together, as well as a way of bonding. So I'll put my forehead on his forehead straight away and I'll be like, Pom Pom, I'm so sorry, I didn't see you there. Are you okay? And he'll just start licking me like crazy. So he's so forgiving, this little one as well. Very loving and very forgiving. So if he is in any way aggressive towards me, it's only because he is poorly. And the 2 times he's been really unwell, he's gone to bite me a couple of times when I've gone near him for no reason whatsoever, or been quite aggressive. We get lots of growls, more than usual if he's going to be picked up. So that again is an indication for me that there's something not quite right, because that is not his personality at all. So yeah, I think it's mainly just looking out for things that mark them as being different to normal. You will know your bunny more than anyone else. You will know your bunny or your bunny's behavior, what they're like, and then you'll be able to spot anything that is just so different to what they're like usually. And that can be an indication they're ill. It can be an indication of other things, but it can also be an indication they're ill. So just keep an eye out if you see them behaving very, very differently to usual. And obviously any concerns, sticky nose, runny nose, excessive sneezing, coughing, less poops than usual, smaller, drier poops than usual, then, you know, I would advise contacting a vet, even if it's not a rabbit specialist vet. It's best to get them checked over by whoever medical professional you can find that will treat animals, and just see what they say and take it from there. So yeah, that's what we look out for our baby boo. And I think with me, I'm possibly a little bit overprotective and anxious, but maybe that's not a bad thing, to be a little bit more on that side and cautious than the other way. But yeah, Daddy's a bit more laid back and just we'll see how it goes. And Mummy gets all panicky, Pommy is not acting as normal. But I'd say 90% of the time my hunch is right. He goes to the vet and he's fine. I think only twice we've taken him to the vets and they couldn't really find anything. And one of those times they erred on the side of caution and gave him pain relief anyway, just for a couple of days. So I'd say go with your gut feeling as well. You know, as a bunny mum, as a mum to any parent or a bunny dad, you kind of just have a sixth sense that something's not right. They're not acting as usual. They're not eating as usual. Then yeah, go and check them out with a vet. And yeah, just keep an eye on them. He's so relaxed now. You're chilling out, are you? He likes being stroked, don't you, little smoochy poo? Yeah? I don't even think this one knows what is it. Do you know your name is Pom Pom? Do you know your name is Pom Pom? Because I call you all sorts. What nicknames have we got? We've got Pommy, Pommy Boo, Snickerdoodle. That's Lisa Bergen's name for you. Switcheroo, Sweetie Pie, Little One, Pommy. So many nicknames I call you, aren't there? Yeah, I know, little fluffing of a man. So he's very relaxed now as well. Obviously, he was very stressed at the vets. You would have seen at the vets his little nose going a million miles per hour. It is very stressful for them. So it's always good if you can be in the room with them when they're being examined and just help calm them down, stroking them here, back of their neck, the little furry. You get a really soft bit at the back of the neck here, the really soft bit. That area there, if you rub that area and stroke it very, very softly and gently, you see he's licking like crazy. It does really, really help to calm them down if they're stressed. I find with Pom Pom as well, he loves being stroked on his nose. So if he's getting very stressed and his nose is going very fast, we just give a little nose rub there, and that tends to calm him down as well. So there we go. That's what we look out for, isn't it, Pommy Boo? And we're going to go night-night now. It looks like you're going to go back to sleep for your nap, isn't it? Good boy.